Next, let's switch back to our Android device. We're going to, first of all, go to Input and turn off the mouse integration if yours is on mouse integration, because that forces you to click and drag that pointer around. We want to turn off mouse integration so that when we click, we get this capture window. And remember, to get out of the capture, we can hit our left control or left command key. So I'm going to capture. Now when I click in here, I've let it sit too long, but this is a good thing. You need to know that if you do leave your Android device sitting for too many minutes, it can freeze up on you, so we may have to restart this device. We'll restart it and we'll start back up here on the lesson. And before we boot our Android device anew, we can see that we've got the old ISO file still attached there. Let's go to the storage and let's remove that file from the disk. So we're going to remove that ISO file that let us set up Android in the first place. There we go, and we should start up with just the Android virtual device. And now when we start our Android 6, it should boot up just like a regular Android device. Good. We may get a choice there, but it'll automatically boot in just a few seconds. And like any Android device, it'll take just a little bit of time to boot up, but it's pretty fast. And once it boots, we're ready to change a couple of settings. So click on the screen so that you capture your mouse again. We need to go to Input, turn off mouse integration, then click in the screen so that we capture the mouse. Now this moves the big mouse pointer. So I'm going to click on my menu button down here toward the bottom. And let's go to Settings. And we need to change the setting for the browser under Apps, so that our browser can download to our device's storage. So we come to Permissions. It might have location, it might have a few other things enabled, but we need to click Permissions and give it just a second. Come to Storage and let's turn that on. So we need to turn on the browser storage so that we can download files. That will be our first step. We'll come back to Settings a little later. We can hit the Home button. And now open up your browser, and if your Apache service is started, then we should be able to go to 10.0.3.5/share, and we should see our APK file there. Well, let's go one step further. Let's go ahead and go up one directory, or we can hit the parent directory here, and let's grab an image file just to make sure that we're able to download something. So click on the Debian image file here and come to Save Image. And if that downloads okay, you know you've changed your settings so that the browser can access storage. So let's hit the back button and come back to the funnygame.apk and try the same thing. Once that file downloads, let's go to our Downloads folder and we can access that. You can see at the very top of our screen here, we have a couple of downloads, funnygame.apk, and that, there we go. We need to pull that down and let it stay. So I'm going to try to run funnygame.apk, that APK file. And Android will let us know that by default, the tablet is set to block installation of apps obtained from unknown sources, but it will let us go straight to settings. Well, my friend told me this was a really fun app, so I'm going to scroll down to security, and I'll find unknown sources. And I'm going to enable unknown sources. Now, there are other ways that we can infect an Android device, but for this Meterpreter example, we'll allow this unknown sources. If anyone wants to download something from a third party, this is something they have to turn on. So now we've enabled unknown sources. Let's go back and let's come back to those downloads. Or we can click on the funnygame.apk again so that it downloads afresh. Click that, and we've got funnygame.apk. Let's see what that is. It says, do you want to install this application? It'll get access to all of these things. Well, it's supposed to be a funny game, so let's give it a try. Click Install, then click Open, and it looks like nothing is happening, so let's hit our host key to get control of our mouse again. Let's come back to our Kali Linux box. And look at this. Meterpreter says there's a session open from 10.0.3.7. I wonder where that could be from. Let's say sessions-i 1, and let's say get UID, sysinfo. Look at that. We are running as username U0A62 on Android. And look at that. Localhost is Android 6.0.1. And we are running a Meterpreter shell on Android from Kali Linux. So this just happens to be an emulated Android device, but it works just as well on your real physical Android device. If you want to give this a try inside your own local area network, your home wireless network, someplace where you can do this safely and where you have permission to do this across a network. But let's see what our directory is, pwd, and we can see we're running from someplace inside that exploit. When we come back, we're going to see how to find that file, the Debian logo that we downloaded a little bit earlier by saving the image. We'll see how to grab that and how to do a few other things in Android before we wrap it up.